The Slag is a junker moon, built entirely around the gritty industrial reality of stripping dead ships for parts. This is where we meet Wylie Bails. He's a young salvage worker dreaming of a ticket off this rock. His only constant companion is an AI named Clara. The entire port believes she is defective, and Wylie has spent his life defending her. But Clara is lying. She is a highly advanced Warden-class warmind capable of routing 10,000 ships. She folded herself into a civilian cradle to hide from the government, and she carries the buried receipts from the end of the last galactic war sealed inside her code. When a collapsing tower threatens Wylie's life, Clara is forced to break her 25-year cover. She takes control of a salvaged rig, running complex structural predictions and combat solve routing to catch the debris. Her superhuman processing saves him, but the performance is logged. With quiet hunters from two governments suddenly converging on the moon, they flee aboard a debt-ridden tug called the Slow Learner. Observational. These details build a dense, cinematic sci-fi epic. The pacing, the world-building, and the stakes all point to a deeply intentional creative process. That intentionality makes the reality of the book's authorship difficult to believe. The 63,000 words that make up this novel were drafted almost entirely by two rival artificial intelligences. Right now, the publishing industry is seeing a massive influx of machine-generated content. Readers are actively rejecting it, often burying books with negative reviews the moment they suspect a computer wrote the text without oversight. Readers have learned to recognize the tells: the constant use of delve, descriptions of rich tapestries, a highly predictable sentence rhythm, resulting in text that feels repetitive and hollow. Author Shane Mercer developed a methodology to counteract these structural flaws. He calls it Sound Human, Stop Slop. Ironblood serves as the test case. If Mercer's method holds, it provides a blueprint for turning raw machine generation into a cohesive, intentional narrative. Stop Slop's philosophy: AI never makes structural decisions, it acts strictly as the engine. Mercer builds a locked package with a rigid outline and world bible. He applies hard technical rules, like forearm blades over gunfire, forcing adherence to specific logic. Finally, banned word lists strip stylistic crutches. By removing creative freedom, Mercer forces the models to execute strict orders rather than act autonomously. Mercer handed this exact, highly restricted package to two frontier models: OpenAI's GPT-5.6, operating as SOL, and Anthropic's Claude, acting as Fable 5. He gave them a prime directive. They were to duel, drafting the entire book, act by act, without ever seeing the other model's work. After the blind read, Fable 5 won the rights to serve as the core narrative chassis. Then came the manual salvage phase. Mercer combed through the losing GPT-5.6 draft, extracting donor passages, and carefully integrated them into the Fable 5 chassis. The two distinct models naturally compensated for each other's blind spots. Where one struggled with realistic dialogue, the other provided sharper, more natural exchanges. Merging the logic of rival models created a hybrid draft. The final manuscript carries Fable's structural consistency, reinforced by SOL's descriptive details. Even with strict rules and a dual-engine merge, these models face a biological limitation. Because machines have no physical bodies, they cannot experience sensory memory or genuine physical tension. When forced to write emotion, the AI relies on a tired metaphor bank. High stakes are expressed through the smell of ozone. Tension resolves in a tight jaw, a hitched breath, or descriptions of the weather. Mercer anticipated this limitation. He built structural workarounds into the outline, deliberately leaving empty author fill slots at the most emotionally critical hinges of the story. He wrote those 12 critical metaphors himself. He grounded the emotional weight of the narrative in actual physical human experience. From a creative standpoint, those 12 human lines hold more value than the 63,000 words generated by the machine. The final product, Ironblood, demonstrates the success of these deconstructed elements coming together. Ironblood illustrates a shift in how these stories can be built. The machine provides the volume and the raw material, but the author provides the architecture and the specific sensory decisions that ground the work.